What's up, you guys? Welcome back. Today I'm super excited because we're gonna be doing a easy, simple, everyday 5-minute makeup routine. This is basically like my current routine when I have 5 minutes to throw myself together in the morning. Most of you guys know 9 months ago I became a mom, and so I used to have unlimited amounts of time to get ready, and now I have a short window most days. So this is just my easy everyday routine, but really helps make me feel and look put together and just makes I feel like sets a good tone for the rest of the day. And you certainly do not have to be a mom to do this routine. This is for anyone and everyone that just wants a quick, easy, and reliable routine to get ready in the morning. And I just want this to be super relaxed and chatty. I'm gonna give you guys like some life updates in this video. It's been a very long time since I've like updated you and just like sat down and chatted with you guys. So I'm very excited. Make sure you guys subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and click the little bell right next to the subscribe button to be notified of all my future uploads. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. All right, I'm going to start by prepping my skin. I'm going in with my Prose serum. If you guys have never heard of Prose, I originally tried them out for their hair care. They basically are a company that creates custom hair care, but they also create custom skincare too. And you basically can go on their website and take a very detailed quiz. Like, it's not just gonna ask you like, what is your skin type or what is your hair type? Like, it asks you a lot of different questions, down to literally like, what is your zip code? So we can look up the different factors in the area that you live that may interfere with like your skin or your hair. But I've been really impressed with the skincare. Like, it literally even says custom serum for Kelly made on it. And this is the Soothe and Glow because I have a lot of redness to my skin and I also have drier skin. So I like to use this to prep. It also is like a nice base because it gives a little tackiness to the skin to adhere your makeup. I'm gonna go in with my custom moisturizer as well and just to hydrate. But if you want truly customized skincare to your skin, I would highly recommend checking out Prose. I can link them down below for you guys. They look at 85 different factors when making your customized formula, so that's more than pretty much any other brand that I've ever heard of. You can even customize it right down to the scent. Like in my hair care, I have like a bunch of fancy scents in there, but in my skincare, I have it completely unscented, which is how I prefer it. I have the serum, moisturizer, and then also a cleanser as well. This is like a cream cleanser, which is really nice. So it's truly custom made to you, and I think that's why the products really work. So obviously, like the products that I have would not be the exact same that would be made for you and your skin. However, I have been loving them. So I will link Prose down below in the description box. I want to thank them for partnering with me on this section of today's video, but I think you guys will really enjoy them if you're looking for something truly customized to elevate your skincare routine. Alrighty, let's jump into the makeup portion now. And would you guys believe I'm not even gonna use foundation? Like, this is quick, easy, streamlined, perfect for every day. But I do like to use some sort of like primer that gives a little bit of a glow to my skin to further enhance that glow. And this Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer has been beautiful because it really helps to like blur the skin. It's like a filter basically for your skin without having to wear foundation. I've just been liking kind of like letting my skin breathe a little bit. It's also that glorious time of the month for me. So I have some friends that I'm gonna show you guys how I cover up too, even when not using foundation. But I like to go in with that primer just to kind of blur out the skin, and it gives me a little bit of an enhanced glow as well. And then I top that with the L'Oreal Lumi Glotion. Oh my goodness, I'm dropping everything. But y'all already know that if you've watched me for a while, I love this product. So this is basically like what I use as my base rather than a true foundation, because this gives a little bit of coverage, but it gives a tint to my skin, it gives glow, and just gives a really like healthy sort of look to the face. So I love this. I use shade medium. I believe there are like 4 different shades in this, but medium is normally my go-to, and I do blend it out with a brush. I think I've talked about this in my past few videos, but I've been a brush girly recently, which is interesting because I used a beauty blender literally for everything for literally like years and years. And I mean, I still love my beauty blender and still use it sometimes depending on like what I'm doing, but I think because I'm using like lower coverage products, I do like to use a brush just to get like as much coverage as I can get. But this one is the IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Flat Top Buffing Foundation Brush, and I absolutely love this. IT Cosmetics makes really good brushes, and this is basically what I have been doing as my base. I've actually made like a lot of switches to my routine recently, which I'm realizing now as I'm like talking through it with you guys, because I used to always do like my foundation or like complexion product, then I would do concealer, and then I would go in with like bronzer, blush, all that. But I started now to do my bronzer slash contour and blush before I do my concealer. I think gives a much more flawless blend. So this is the LYS contour stick in the shade Motivate. I absolutely love this. And I go in and I use this basically as both a contour and a bronzer on a daily basis. I'm not doing both steps. So I apply this. It has a bit of a warmer undertone to it, and I just blend it out in the areas of my face where I would normally contour to give me a warm glow, but also help to chisel the face a little bit. And obviously this will probably seem like a little bit longer than 5 minutes because I'm like chatting with you guys and talking through it. But truly when I'm like in the zone, in the bathroom, getting ready in the morning, That's all it takes me to do this. Some days I will just do this kind of look if I'm going for like a more bronzy look, but if I want to add a little bit of life, a little pop of color, I will of course use like a cream blush. And my new favorite has been this new Rare Beauty. This is the matte bouncy blush in the shade Worth It. So this is basically like the perfect summer blush, I would say, because it makes you look like you were at the beach all day. It's like a mix of like a little tinge of sunburn, like sun-kissed, but also a little bit bronzy. It's so, so pretty. Let me know how you would like classify this color. Like, I don't know what exactly this shade is, but it's different than like any other blush that I have, and I absolutely love it. I think it's so pretty for the summertime. I'm jumping a little bit ahead through spring, but once we get that warm air, I just feel like everything gets better. So I've been loving this as my blush, and I literally just put it right over my nose too. Again, we are gonna go in with concealer and kind of clean everything up a little bit, but really, really beautiful blush that I've been loving. For concealer, I'm gonna jump in with my Hourglass Vanish. This is in shade 3.5. I absolutely love this. So I'm gonna apply this to my under eyes, just a little bit right there. And then I also like to apply this in like my T-zone, just to balance out the brightness underneath the eyes. Now I'm gonna let that sit for a second before I blend it out to get a little bit fuller coverage. But like I said, I do have some friends with me in honor of that time of the month. So I'm gonna go in with a different concealer for blemishes. This Makeup by Mario, this is the Makeup by Mario Real Skin Awakening Concealer. I love this for if I have like blemishes or acne. I'm gonna put a little bit on the back of my hand. Little pro tip that if you are dealing with like active acne, you do not wanna apply the doe foot from your concealer directly onto it, because then you can be like spreading more bacteria. So I just put a little bit on the back of my hand, go in with a brush, and then just tap that on. But this concealer I really like for acne. It gives a great coverage, and it's self-setting, so it doesn't need to be set with a powder. For me, I don't love it for my under eye area. I think because it's self-setting, it's a little too dry for me for my under eye area, but on like the rest of my face where I need extra coverage, it's fabulous. So that's how I like to use it, and to just help cover up and conceal anywhere that I feel I need it. And then I'll go in and blend out the rest of my concealer. I've been loving this little Hourglass brush to blend my concealer out. Again, who would have thought that I would have been a total brush girly, but I think it's just easier, honestly. I don't know. You don't have to take that extra step of like wetting the beauty blender, which seems like how lazy can you be, but I feel like it is easier. And this buffs and blends everything out super flawlessly and seamlessly. I really spend the vast majority of the focus of this like routine on my base, because I feel like if your base looks good, then everything else kind of follows. And some days I will literally just do the base part, and then I won't do anything like on my eyebrows, my eyes, nothing like that. I'll just do this because it gives me a nice looking complexion, and then keep it moving for the rest of the day. But today I'm gonna show you guys obviously like the full routine. And sometimes that's dictated on how long my son naps for. Right now he is napping. That's when I get like the vast majority of my work done. So I'm very lucky to have a good sleeper. He has a pretty consistent like nap schedule and, you know, sleep schedule at night. So I am grateful for that, because that's when the majority of like me making these videos and stuff gets done. All right, but complexion and everything is all blended. Like, doesn't that look just very flawless? Like, I just feel like it looks really nice, doesn't take a lot, doesn't even, you know, use foundation, but we still look like really nice and kind of put together, which I love. The only area I really worry about powdering is my under eyes. So I like this Laura Mercier loose setting powder in the shade Rose, and I will use that to set my under eyes. This gives a little bit of brightness and is just very smoothing as well, which is really nice. Just kind of blurs that out, and then I'll normally set like that center. Basically anywhere that I put that concealer is where I will apply this product. All right, now that we got complexion all done, like I said, a lot of times I will just stop at this, but when I do my full routine, obviously we gotta fill these brows in a little bit. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit more so you can see a little bit better. There we go. But I did want to talk a little bit about mom life, because I get questions every single day about it, and I don't talk about it too much on YouTube. If you follow me on Instagram, I share more things on there just because it's a little bit easier with like stories and stuff, but you know, just share like everyday sort of things. And my intention is to keep this YouTube channel, you know, mostly about beauty, because I know that's where the vast majority of you guys have found me, or I guess why you have found me and why you have continued to watch my content over here, which I greatly, greatly appreciate. It's so funny because I get actually like comments and questions and stuff almost every single day, like on both sides of the spectrum. So many people ask me to talk more about mom life and like just share more about like becoming a mom and stuff like that, which I totally understand. But then I also get a lot of people that are like, thank you so much for not completely changing your channel into like a mommy channel as soon as you had a child. So it's like you get both sides of the spectrum, and I don't know what people really like enjoy seeing, but my intention was always to keep this channel, you know, about beauty. Like I said, I do share a little bit more of my life over on my Instagram and my TikTok and stuff, like my everyday life, just because it's easier with short form content to share a little bit of that kind of stuff, like off the cusp, I guess. However, of course, every now and again, I will do like a chatty video like this over here, or I can do like a vlog every now and again as well, which I do want to do, you know, to share with you guys a little bit more about like mom stuff and things like that. But I know that a lot of you guys, you know, I've had this channel for the past 13 years, and you found me because you found me for my beauty content. Because for the past 12 and a half years, I have not had a child. And so all my content was about beauty. So I completely understand that. So I didn't want that to change significantly on my channel. But let me know what kind of content you guys want to see, because again, I get comments every single day on both sides of the spectrum, and I think it truly just depends on the person if that's something you're interested in watching or something that you're not. So I do understand that. And I don't intend to share a ton about my son. I just, you know, he's not going to be a main focus of my content ever. That's not my intention. You know, he's a child obviously and cannot make that decision for himself, but that doesn't mean that I won't share him like entirely, or little aspects of, you know, being a mom and things that I've learned and all that kind of stuff, because it has been such a whirlwind learning experience and like truly the best 9 months of my life. Oh my goodness. I feel like it's such a big milestone too, the 9-month mark. Carter is almost 9 months. By the time you guys see this video, it'll probably be like right around his 9-month birthday, we can say. But it's crazy because that marks the fact that he has been here with us for, you know, out of the womb for longer than he was in. Because up until now, you know, I carried him for longer than we had him, you know, out with us, that we actually got to like meet him and stuff, which is so crazy. But it has been so just fulfilling and the most wonderful thing that I've ever done in my life, truly. I'm gonna go in and curl my lashes. This is one step that I don't skip. I should say that even on days when I don't put any mascara on, I still curl my lashes because it makes such a difference in like how your lashes and eyes look, and it definitely makes you look more awake. A mom like me and maybe are lacking on sleep, or just lacking on sleep in general, I feel like we could all use a few extra hours of sleep sometimes. But that is one thing that I really can't complain about. I feel like everyone made it seem like you would never sleep again when you have a child. And of course that can happen. I think every child is different, but Carter really does sleep well. So I'm very grateful for that. He does sleep through the night, so I cannot complain in that department. He's truly just like such a happy, smiley, like pleasant baby to be around. I just love being around him. Just so you guys know, I'm going in with Milani Anti-Gravity. I'm using this today. I've kind of been like siphoning through different mascara. So y'all know I love this mascara. I have for so long. Also really like the new Makeup by Mario mascara. This one's fabulous. And then the newer L'Oreal Paradise Big Deal mascara is also really good. So these have kind of been like my 3 that I've been rotating between. I'm using the Milani one today because this is actually in a brown shade. This is the only one I have in brown. And I was kind of feeling like a brown lash today because it's a little bit like less harsh on my features, and so that's why I'm using this one today. But I'm just coating that on my lashes. I would say so far the biggest hurdle that we've had in the 9 months, like I thought for sure it would be the sleeping, and of course in the beginning, you know, it was a little bit rough, but I feel like you just kind of adapt to it. But the biggest thing right now is we have been starting solids. Like we've been doing that now for the past 3 months, but that has been by far the most stressful experience for me. I really don't like it, and I mean, obviously he has to eat food, so I have to, you know, you just have to work through it. But I'm so terrified just of him like choking, and we have literally 2 life facts. And you know I took a class on infant, what is it? You know, like the Heimlich maneuver and how to do that on an infant and all that kind of stuff. But it's just, I do get scared with the eating. We use mostly purees. We do a little bit of baby-led weaning. We'll give him certain things that he can kind of pick up and feed himself, but for the most part, we've done like more purees just because, again, I'm terrified of choking, and that's just been the most difficult, I think, part so far for me has been like the eating. Oh my goodness gracious. I know that like you just gotta go through it. It just definitely sparks like an anxiety, I guess, that I have, and I don't typically suffer from like severe anxiety or anything, but I just, oh my gosh, when he's in that high chair, I'm like, oh. So if you have any tips on feeding, I would love to hear, because that has been the most difficult thing so far that we've kind of dealt with. I'm going in with Tarte Fake Awake. I'm just gonna apply that to my waterline. Sometimes I'll put mascara on my lower lashes, but most days I just leave it on the upper lashes because it's a little bit quicker, and I still feel like it opens up the eyes, and this helps to just make the eyes look a little bit whiter and a little bit more awake. Now we obviously already did our bronzer and our blush, but I'm gonna go in with a little bit of this L'Oreal. This is the Lumi Lay Glass Highlighter Stick, and I'm just going to apply on my finger and tap that on the cheeks for a little extra glow. This is so pretty. The drugstore has been coming out out with really great products. L'Oreal specifically, I feel like, has come out with some fabulous products recently, which I love. Also, let me know, I posted this on my Instagram story now that I'm seeing me like tapping my face up close. I went to get my nails done the other day and I wanted a really bright red, because I love to do like a bright red during summer, and it looked like bright red, but then once it's on my hands, I feel like it's pulling very orange. Like it's pulling like neon orange. Is this orange or is this red? Please let me know, because I was really hoping for red, but I really don't think I missed the mark on that, but it's all right. I'm gonna deal with it for the next 3 weeks. I'm just gonna put a little bit down the nose and above the Cupid's bow, whatever is left on my finger, just to make that glow. Then I'm gonna go in and line the lips. I've been loving the Makeup Forever Wherever Walnut Lip Liner. I'm going to just line my lips with this. I always use a lip liner. Even if I'm not doing like an all over lip color or anything, I like to put a lip liner on and just kind of like blend it into my natural lip, because I feel like the border of my lips is not very defined. So using a lip liner really helps to like define my lips out from the rest of my face, if that makes sense. So I love to line my lips. I feel like it's an easy step that a lot of times I think people might skip if they're low on time, but I feel like it makes a big difference in my routine. So it's one that I don't typically skip. And another update too is we are officially crawling. So me saying that starting solids has been the hardest part might be outshadowed quickly, because all of a sudden I was kind of like army crawling for a little bit, but now he's like full on crawling and he's very fast. I'm like, oh my goodness gracious. So he's gonna be off to the races soon enough. At this point, I feel like he's gonna be walking before he turns 1 year old based on how fast he's crawling. So we'll see. Apparently my husband was like running at his first birthday party, where I don't even think I was walking by the time I was 1. So I don't know, but we shall see with that. But we are officially crawling, which is another very big, very recent milestone that we had. And then last but not least, I like to go in with some sort of like lip oil. So I've kind of been using these two most days, the Makeup by Mario Super Shine Lip Gloss. Love this, but also really love the L'Oreal Plump Ambition Hyaluron Lip Oil. This is really, really nice. So I'm gonna go in with this on my lips. It's a little bit lighter. The shade that I have in this is Milky New. And then I'll show you what the Makeup by Mario one looks like, because I'll just kind of layer them together. Because why the heck not? This one is in the shade Rose Water. And I'll just add this right on top. But I like to just do a lip liner and little like lip oil sort of situation, just to keep my lips like hydrated throughout the day and give me a little glow. Now, last but certainly not least, we gotta set everything in place so that our makeup doesn't move. And I've been using 2 different setting sprays. So Urban Decay All Nighter I like to use to lock everything in place and help my makeup last. So I go in with that. Sorry if you guys hear scratching. Princey's like scratching on the door. Let me let him out. He's in the room with me and I think he wants to go get some food or something. All right, we're back. I think he was hungry. That's another thing too, is I got a lot of questions about how Prince is with Carter, and thankfully, really great. I'm very, very grateful for that, because I gotta be honest, I was a little bit scared. Princey is not aggressive, but he is definitely, I mean, he's a Pomeranian. They can be a little bit snippy, and he's never like bitten anybody or anything like that, but he is very protective over me. So I was nervous about how that was gonna be, but somehow maybe it's like scent or something. He like knows that Carter is like a part of me basically, and he is totally fine with him. I did get a lot of people asking me about that. And then last but not least, I do like to go in with this. This is the Kapari Sun Glaze Sheer Setting Mist. You wanna like shake this up, and this is actually an SPF. So it gives a beautiful glow to the skin, but then also helps to protect your skin throughout the day, because it's giving you that, this is SPF 50, which is crazy. I thought it was 25, so 50. So I go in with that. You do wanna make sure as you're spraying that, keep your eyes and mouth closed, because it is a sunscreen, but gives such a pretty glow to the skin. And then obviously it's giving you that SPF protection, which is great too. And that is everything, you guys. That is my quick, easy, everyday 5-minute routine. Again, I know because I'm like sitting here and just chit-chatting with you, kind of doing like a little update. It may seem like it takes longer than that, but truly this, when I got 5 minutes in the morning, this is what I do and I can get it done. It's like second nature and very easy. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys, especially if you just want something quick and easy for the summer. Thank you guys so much for watching and chatting with me. I will link everything that I used today right down below in the description box, so definitely check there. And I will see you guys very soon in my next video. Bye.